All right, this is gonna be a little bit of a out of out of the ordinary video, but I wanted to make a quick video about things that I've been noticing with my favorite lens of all time. This Tamron, come on, focus. Tamron 70 to 180. Um, so I've had this lens for about a year now. I've been trying to I thought it was like concrete, perfect, bulletproof at everything. I love how it's made in Japan. I love how its image quality is absolutely to die for. And I love this lens so much, and I'm so happy that Tamron made this amazing lens. I love how it's lighter weight than the G Master Mark II 70 to 200, and it still can get that image quality as well, right? But there's some problems that I have noticed with it lately, and I will show you them right now. So here's dog, right? Wrong photo. Dog photo. If you see right here, I was really so it's hitting focus, right? But it's hitting the wrong focus. It's hitting focus right here, and then here's blurry, right? So it was hitting the camera was hitting focus. It's a little in focus here. Uh, Pretty in focus here, yeah. Like, I was at 1/2000th of a second, alright? So I don't think that I should be having focusing. I don't think I should be having photos out of focus. I was trying to get him to run as fast as possible. But like, here we go, here. It's hitting focus on his tail, and it's not hitting focus on his face, right? Here we go here, like, out of focus. Out of focus. Out of focus. Out of focus. Focused on his tail. Focused on his tail again. It is pretty in focus. It's in focus. I mean, you can see the detail is like on his teeth. This one's in focus. This one's very in focus. You can see right here. In focus. This one, well, no, it's not in focus. See? It's not in focus. I was at 1/2000th of a second. So I don't think that I should be having focus problems, right? And I was already, like, before I was trying 1/1000th, right? Because I thought that that's what you need, right? If you were trying to get fast paced, not absolute fast paced, but this one's okay. It's not the worst. It's not the best. Focus. Here we go again. Out of focus. Probably out of focus again. Out of focus. In focus. In focus. Yeah, these are unedited, by the way. These are just the JPEGs that I just captured. I have the raw files as well. This is out of focus. I don't know if it's because he's a black dog or not either. Why it's missing focus as well. But it's an A6400, so I assume that it has an A9 chip in it, an older A9 chip, but I assume it should be smart enough to understand where it should be focusing. Out of focus. Out of focus, I think. I think this one's in focus. But it's not. So, here we go. Here's a basic overview of this lens. It can get really focused. It can get really, really sharp as well. Like, I'm zooming in a lot. I think this is like 2250 ISO. I don't really care about ISO if it's in sunlight, unless it's like too much, right? But this, like, yeah, 2000 something ISO, it's still detailed. Really detailed, all right? But a lot of the other photos are not, because they're out of focus. This is detailed as well. I don't know why it's not like pinpoint detailed. But like this is a usable photo. This is usable. I don't care what anyone says. Like, that's a good photo. Pretty bad photo. But like, little bad with this ISO. Maybe it's the shutter speed. I don't think it should be the shutter speed, though. I don't think it is the shutter speed. But like, this is still a usable photo. By the way, it's like, it's not that detailed, probably also because it's APS-C and not full frame. But in focus, this feels like it's missed focus as well, though. Out of focus. A little bit in focus, I think. Yeah, that's in focus. See, look, this is in focus. You see the hairs individually? This is in focus. This is in focus. This out of focus. I'm actually looking at more of these in person, like after when I was looking at them in the camera, and a lot of these are worse than I remember in the camera. Like, this is just out of focus, okay? That's becoming harder to see since the sun is in my face, but like, you can probably tell pretty quickly, though, what is and isn't in focus. This is actually in focus, I think. A little bit missed focus, though, as well. So it's like, that's just way out of focus. That's in focus. A little bit missed focus, but this is still a good, usable photo. Good photo. In focus. This is a good photo. I can use that. This is in focus. You can tell. Let me look for some more actually good example. Here's a fun one. All right, this is in focus. It's not perfect, but you can see the detail, right? And this is what's bugging me is that, like, this is probably one that's in 1/1000th, right? But why am I getting for a $1,300 lens? For a $1,300 lens, why am I getting photos that are out of focus? I don't hate this lens. I don't think it's my camera necessarily. I have a A6400. But do I need to just crank up my shutter speed all the time to like 3,000 or 4,000? I don't want to do that and just have too much ISO. I don't mind ISO being in the 2000s, but it's just a little bit frustrating because I don't know what's going on. And it's not the lens's fault, I don't think, because Tamron, they can just do more software updates to really just iron out any issues possible. I love how this lens also has image stabilization. That's very important to me. The 17 to 70 that I have on right now has image stabilization. I love how Tamron has good image stabilization on mostly all of their lenses. And I just wish that they could do more software updates, if that's even possible. Because it's slightly older now after it was released a longer time, probably a year or two ago. And I don't know if my problems here are exclusive to me only. But yeah. I don't hate the lens. It's just I don't know if it's just a problem that's exclusive to me right now. That's it. I wish Tamron could probably respond. I'll probably email them this video and tell them, hey, like, can you just do more software updates for this lens? Like, it's having a few issues for me. The thing that I think what's going on is that it's probably harder to nail autofocus for a black dog. That's all I think the issue is. If he was a white lab, I don't think I would be having this issue because it's a bright subject. Like, a lot of my photos was him in the in a little bit more shadowy areas. So I think that's like the main thing that was happening. But if I were to give feedback to Tamron, I would hope that they could like iron that out. Maybe it's just my camera. I don't think it is my camera. Even if I don't have an AI chip in my camera, I think the A6400 should be more than adequate, so autofocus wise. But yeah, sorry about the rant video. I just wanted to get this out of the way. I don't know what it is. I mean, we can look at more photos. Decently in focus. You can tell that there's like some. You can see the hairs there. This is a good one for detail. Like you can see the individual ridges on his nose. This is Tamron 70 to 180 2.8 power right here. I think at 180 millimeters. Like you can tell this lens knows how to get sharpness. This isn't my best example. I've gotten sharper examples before. It's like, what's going on here? I don't know. It's like this one and the last one. Hold on. This one. This, I think, was 2,250 ISO. So I don't think it's like ISO exclusive. I don't think ISO exclusively destroys your sharpness. See? We see properties. Can we check the file somehow? I don't know. But Tamron, can you please look into this? Make sure, like, just better image detection, I guess. Like, that's all I'm asking for. I love this lens. I love how it's like, because, like, here's the thing. This is not the, this is not the G Master Mark II. I know that. The G Master, here's the thing. I always thought it was this issue. I don't like how slippery this zoom is. All right? I don't like this at all about this lens. This is actually probably like the biggest thing that I hate about the lens that's unchangeable. I wish that there was an extra switch alongside the lock switch that made it more frictiony. I think the Sigma does that. It has a switch like that, or I think the G Masters have that exclusively. But I don't like how slippery this is. It's like actually like a very slippery zoom. I wish there was an extra switch that made it a little more of like a friction fit thing, but it's just this lock switch. I thought it was always just the fact that like it's easy to slip it and then it would make focus easier. Like right here in the photos. But it's not that, because I was trying to keep it at like 180 as much as possible, and I was still missing focus. And I know that because this lens is not parfocal. Even the G Master Mark II isn't parfocal. I've never tried one before, but I know that they're not. But they always, in the videos, they always like show them like being really good at like if you slide it, like if you do any bit of rack focusing, even like rack focusing like this, or slide focusing, they're really good at staying in focus. But this lens isn't. Okay, I thought it was always that. This lens is not good at doing like staying in focus while sliding. And I wish that Tamron could do more updates to their lenses, because it has the little thing for that, the little USB thing. I wish they could do more software updates to improve all of that. And what I showed here, I know that this, like the tier list is always like, from what I've seen online, is the Sony G Master Mark II is really good at, like, if you're sliding focus, it stays in focus. But Sigma is like slightly worse, but the Tamron is like the third in line though. I wish that they could improve that. I also wish that they could improve this one I showed you right here. I don't know. I think that it's the issue is just that my dog is black, right? It's a black lab, so and he was in more like the shade, so I don't know. But like when I was like hitting the shutter button, what can I use as like a prop, basically? I'll use my little remote here, that I just got. It has like you hold, you press slightly for focus, and then you press harder for taking the shot. When I was like, it instantly, when you focus, it instantly gets in focus. But like when when he was running to me as fast as possible, and I was holding down the button to take the photos in like the maximum speed as the camera can get to as possible, which I think is like 11 frames per second. I'm not sure. So it's not the cap, like Sony does a cap on third-party lenses at like 15 SPS. So I can't even run into that issue. But like he was running as fast as possible towards me, and I was taking the shot. Like when it was like, I think there's like a buffer thing in as well with this camera, because it can only write photos up to like 38 megabytes or something. It caps your memory cards. But yeah, like the subject was getting closer as fast as possible, let me just, as he was running as fast as possible, it was just sort of like losing its grip. The autofocus was like losing its grip on like the like what was in front, and it was starting to like get behind or something. Sometimes on the tail, like some of these photos as well. I shown you earlier. Let me find one of them. Hold on. So what we have here, one of the photos. This was when it was doing that. The front, his head is not in focus, but his tail is in focus. So it just wasn't keeping up with the fast action. And I don't know if it's, I don't think it's the shutter speed. I was at 1/2000th of a second, but who knows? Maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's been this video. Tamron, please, just more updates. That's it. That's all I'm asking. All right. I love the lens. I'm keeping it, obviously. I just want to see improvements. I love this lens. This is my... I love this lens. This is my baby right here. And I just want to see updates. That's it. But yeah. If you liked this terrible video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. And I am out.